All right, I think we are ready to begin. Let me see. Let me start with a... Let's see how this looks. And I'm actually glad I took a look at that because I'll make sure you can see what I'm drawing. And I'll do one more little check on the audio very quickly. Good. Thanks, Dusk. Welcome to the stream. So, today we are going to be doing some drawing. And this is something I wanted to do. I'm going to be streaming for about an hour. I have different characters I would like to draw and talk about. And I just thought it'd be something nice to do. Again, with a lot of people being cooped up inside. I just think it'd be a fun activity. So let me move this. I'll bring that back for anybody that comes by. In fact, we'll do something fun. Anybody that joins in, I'll write down your name there, so that your name will be on the list of people that are here. So, let's start. And I'm gonna grab reference pictures of these characters as well. I think drawing is something that's really fun. I really enjoy drawing. I've been drawing for a very long time, for as long as I can remember, and I've kept a lot of those drawings from when I was little. Might even break some of those out. But we're just going to have some good old Animal Crossing music, and we're going to draw. And we're going to draw a very obvious choice. Oh, I'm just grabbing a picture of them. We're going to draw Mario. Let's move Mario out of the way. We're just going to have Mario in the corner here. And, yeah, this is the first one up for drawing. And we'll make this page a little bit bigger so that you can see. I won't fill the whole page with Mario. So, let's see, where should I start? Let's start up. Actually, we'll do it this way. This is the first time I've ever done something quite like this where I'm actually showing you the stream. Hello, Arinel. Welcome, honey. Oh, we gotta add your name. There we go. This is another person who's joined. We were talking about this just a bit ago. So let's start with Mario. I'm going to draw a circle, and then I'll just make sure that circle is on camera. Yeah, I'm drawing him quite small. Actually, we want our guideline to be maybe about here. A lot of characters start out with like a circle, I noticed. And then his nose, which is also very clear. And I have to warm up a bit. So this is a good way to do it, is just to start drawing. And we got a lot of fun characters up for grabs. And I do have the special thing is in the title, where if you have an original character, or any character specifically that you like, I will draw them. There's information in the description about how to do that. So there's Mario and his mustache. His eyes are incredibly important. And this eye is a bit smaller because of perspective. Make sure you can see. I apologize if the quality is a little bit low. I don't have the best camera for it. Hello, Daniel. Welcome to the stream. We gotta add your name in. Everybody who joins will have their name added in to the stream. Well, unless their name wasn't something very nice. Then we'll give them a different name, but there, we got him some eyes, and let's get his mouth. So in this picture, and I will be drawing from some reference, especially with characters that I'm not as familiar with. I hope you all are doing well. I'm doing good. Things have been going good here. I hope you're doing well too, Dusk. Thanks for asking. I always appreciate that. Let's rotate it so you guys can see it better. Okay, one thing that is very important as well, and is very characteristic of Mario, are his crescent-shaped eyebrows. And you know what? It also curves with his face, so there. I might drop my pencil. Oh, I wonder how many times that will happen. Alright, so then let's do his ear. Right about there. Now, as I said in the beginning of the stream, I've been drawing for a long time. I was very bad at drawing at first. But with practice, it's really just that practice. It's one of those things where I'm amazed when I see people post things like, here's where I was in 2009 and here's where I was in 2019. We've really come a long way. I've been doing great, trusting in the Lord during these difficult times. Isn't so bad anyways. That's wonderful, Daniel. I think his forehead's a little bit too much, so we'll shade a bit of that area. And I'm also just practicing a lot too. This is sort of my practice. He has that distinct sort of sideburn look. Yeah. And then the fun part is his hat. So it's about there. And I always go back and thicken those lines some more. Try not to think about the virus as much. Yeah, it is something it's in the news a lot. And there are certain things that we have to do to be safe, but we shouldn't let it bother us all the time. That is a very good point. Do the M. Okay. And in this case, we have, and I'm not going to do, these aren't full body pictures either. All of these pictures are going to be chest up kind of things, because I'm not always the best at doing, like, it depends on the character. Mario isn't honestly that bad to do at all, full body. But some of the characters we draw are going to be a little bit trickier, I think. And, you know, you can do, depending on how you want to portray Mario. If you want to do something, like, you might want to give him more detail like that in his overalls and such. Oh, let's just shade in his hair. These are just some basic pencil sketches. And there does have to come a point, it's not bad. There's some things that could be a little bit more. His mustache isn't coming up as much, like he's smiling, but that's alright. Oh, sorry if you hear that noise, that was my air conditioning kicking in. Alright, so let's get rid of, oh, well, we'll write down their names as well. Now Mario is very special, and I think I've told this story before, but I have a lot of fond memories with Mario. Playing Super Mario Galaxy specifically with my older brother. We rented that game at the library, and that was my first Mario game. And I've been thoroughly immersed in the Mario universe ever since. Are you uploading a video this Wednesday? Yes, I am. On After Hours with Steve Starr. There will be another episode. A $650 refund for the canceled New York City trip. Oh, wow. So that is... I remember he said about that you were going to go actually see some of the real-time late night shows. I'm sorry about that being canceled. And I appreciate your support as well. That's really generous of you. Alright, since I'm still warming up, I'm not always used to drawing on camera. I'm going to do a character that also starts with a circle, and this is one of... You know what? No. We're going to do a character that I think some of you guys will recognize. Alright? We'll do him over here. He starts with a circle, then he comes down like this. See if you recognize him yet. And I always do his nose. I've done this so many times. This is why I'm not even looking at any reference of this character. I think some of you will know who this is. Let's go in and darken these lines. I need like a drawing speed run or something. Mr. Grimsey. Aaron was the first to guess it. Yes. Oh, and then Dusk guessed it next. No, obviously, it's a character I'm very familiar with in Sketch because there's over a dozen different sketches of him, and he originated in a sketch, so... And here's the trick about Mr. Grimsey is he's got these... His eyebrows look like staples. And his ears are fun. They start to give him some more character. And then, well, we'll get to his neck in a bit. Mr. Grimsey has an interesting design. Oh, thank you. I do like his... It came about because I had a dream about what this guy looked like when I was developing this concept, and I just drew it the next day. And it took a little bit of refining. Here's him without. Do I get an extra drawing request now? Okay, yes, you can have a drawing request. I might take, if anybody does have drawing requests, I might not always grab them, but if I glance over and see one that's kind of interesting, I might do that as well. Here's this part. I love this. Well, first of all, let's give him one of the things that really sets him apart. And this is fun because he's kind of scribble. And then this is one of my favorite things for some reason, is the... There he is. There he is. There he is. Yeah. It's funny too. His design seems to fluctuate a little bit when I draw him. Sometimes. It's just that imperfection of my hand that I'm still, I wish that I could be a little bit more bold and confident in my lines, and just in making those dramatic lines. I wish they were more consistent. And we gotta do a little signature, and we gotta put the date, because I always like looking at what year it was, so I can, and sometimes even the month, so I can kind of backtrack. So there he is. I feel like he's a lot more accurate than Mario. But it's a character that I draw all the time, so of course it is. So he's one that I just like. It's just so much fun to draw him because I don't even have to look at him. Now there is a character. Now I'm gonna wait and see, Aaron, on what your suggestion is. There is a character that I really want to draw and I really want to talk about. And you know what it is, Aaron, now. But first, there it is. But first, we're going to grab another character that, come on, we all know who it is. Well, we don't know specifically who this one is. I'm going to pick next. And let's pick a picture of him that is different, and not one that everybody uses. A lot of us are familiar with this particular fellow. You know what? I like these. Here he is. Let's do Nick Wilde, and I like this expression specifically. Okay, fanboy. Oh, and one moment. Let's make this a little bit easier for you guys to see as well. Let's do a little bit of. Whoop. A little bit of color correction here. Let's bolden those lines a bit. There we go. Again, I'm sorry for any fuzziness. It's somewhat fuzzy because it's just some of it's lighting and zoom on the camera, and then the stream compressing it. Nick Wilde, I like Nick Wilde. I really like Nick Wilde too. He's a fun character. He's a fun one to draw. And I remember, okay, already I kind of made a mistake because I didn't give him enough room for his ears. His ears are the one ear is gonna cut him with Mario a little bit, so sorry, Mario. I watched a video on, I think it's Brian Howard that draws him. I think he ends up doing it, and he talks about, well, first thing is he says it's kind of a gumdroppy shape. Are you aware about, okay, we'll get to that in just a second, Daniel, because I do have some comment on that. But anyway, he talks about, he said something that's really stuck with me, which is drawing should be fun, and you shouldn't be stressed with your lines. Just kind of like something along the lines of let the drawing flow. And that's what I've been practicing to do. I'm still not very good at letting that happen. I can be really perfectionistic with it, but not being afraid of mistakes and just letting the drawing flow. Now I'm going to draw. Now his nose is much more like oval shaped, but I'm going to draw it the way that I typically do, and that's this sort of shape. So, and I actually really like the scared expression. Is very easy for me for some reason. I just like the big, bold statement that the eyes make. Now Daniel said are you aware about your favorite video game, Super Mario Galaxy, coming to the Switch? Now I heard about that, and I think it was confirmed, but I'm still very skeptical of that news. If that happens, I'll be very excited, but I'll also be worried. Like, I don't know, they say it's a remaster. I think it's just going to be, I'm going to guess it's just a re-release, like a collection of them. To remaster Mario 64, Sunshine, and Galaxy, that's a lot. And it's like, I don't know, do you even want to touch those games? Because they're very they're perfect as they are. Well, you know, there's no perfect game, really. And one thing about Nick is he has this, I've always noticed this bit of fluff that kind of sticks out there, and he's got his tie, and his tie isn't on, you know, super tight. It's kind of loose. I watched Beta and did the Lotus video on Zootopia. Oh, did he do a video on Zootopia specifically? Here's the fun part. It's another opportunity to let those lines flow, and then even going back and just kind of like fixing them. And then this is my trick for the ears, is just to draw a line that doesn't quite connect at the top, and do a bit of fuzz. And, you know, maybe a little bit of fuzz at the top of his head. And then just some lines where you need it to. I don't like to show the difference in muzzle too much, just kind of softly. Because he has a different, and actually it's a little bit more divided, probably about half of the way. So actually I think it comes out a little bit more. So let's actually try that once. It was more like that. I wonder if that would look better. I think that actually does look better. Well, thanks, Studs. If Nintendo were smart, they'd release all their past games on the Switch. That's what I wonder what they're going to end up doing. I always do a line underneath for some reason. It's a little different than the picture, obviously. There's a bit of my own sort of drawing style kind of mixed in there. But again, I'm just kind of taking characters and using my own particular style. Now, Aaron, what was your request? Or did I miss it? Is it back here? Oh, wait. Oh, okay. Never mind. I'll just keep drawing. Let's see. You know what? There might be a little room to draw. I have this character named Mousy Squeaksworth. He's kind of a funny character. There's a little bit of room down here. We're gonna do a micro sketch of this guy. But you'll see him come together. I don't know. Some of you might know who he is. I don't know. He hasn't really shown up at all in the public, but maybe Maybe I shouldn't have even said his name. Maybe I'd be shocked if someone guessed it. I mean, I think... Well, I know Aaron will know who it is. He's also got this big old hat. He's a fun one. He's also one I can draw very quickly and pretty consistently. And again, it's just because I've had a lot of practice with him. He's this evil little crime boss guy. So he's a mouse, but he's very fierce. And he talks like Conker the Squirrel, who we will also draw at some point. There we go. Very simple. You're thinking real good on it. She's Mr. Squeaksworth. He's got those little chips in his ears, too, which probably should be angled a little bit more. Look at me, I'm my own worst enemy, my own worst critic. We'll shade that in. There has to be, I don't know if any of you struggle with this though, but do you ever make something or you draw something and you keep seeing stuff that can be fixed, and so you're like, oh wait, well the nose could be a little different. Okay, oh wait, that could be filled in a little bit better. Oh, now it looks too weird, and it actually does, so let's erase, and there. And it's like, when's your art done? I have that trouble all the time, where it's like, oh, and there's actually something I forgot. I legitimately forgot that little detail. There's a ridge in his hat that's kind of shaded. Thanks, Dusk. Look, he fit right on the page down there next to Squeaks. There we go. There has to be a time where you say it's done, and I'm not going to mess with it anymore. But that time is not come yet. There we go. He's got a little tail. I think you would see his tail. There we go. Wow, look at the... You just don't draw. You know, a lot of people, though, too, really drawing, especially when we're drawing from a reference picture, it's just patterns. You know, if I were to draw Mousy again, let's see how quickly I could draw him. You do a circle, you do kind of a point. A lot of people that aren't sure if they could draw or not, there is that skill and that talent and that art. You know, the skill comes from practice, and there is a talent for it and an eye for it. But a lot of these are they're just lines that you memorize. You know, this is if I was like, hey, let me just sketch him real quick to demonstrate, like, oh, maybe here's a storyboard concept or something. You know, it's very rough, but there you go. But it takes too long. It does take time at first. It does. I think that's the thing, too. It's just that patience with it. And you don't have to write his name again. I do love to when a page just starts to fill up and it's tempting to be like, oh, let's grab another page. But no. We're going to fill up this page with characters. Aaron is still thinking about her request. Since I mentioned Conker, let's draw him as well. Wow, we've already been a half hour in. We're already halfway through our drawing experience. I better get a move on. But it's a good time. I think an hour is a good time because last time I streamed for many hours, 3 hours, which wasn't bad for me, but it was a lot. Dodger, do you mean the Keith character? Dodger, the bird? I could draw him very quickly. I want to see if I could draw an anime character. Oh, I am going to draw an anime character. But I'm sure you have a specific anime character you would like. You know what? Let's actually grab... I have a picture of Conker and Mr. Grimsy, which is a bizarre picture, but it's still one that I like because for some reason they go really good together in this photo. I just have to find the file for it. Here it is. This is... Oh, I don't like the line work though. This was because it was just taken... The dog. Oh, Dodger the dog. Okay. Wait. I think I know who you're talking about. This is a... It's probably not the best idea to draw a drawing off of a drawing of mine because it's going to be kind of... Might be kind of inaccurate in some ways. Yep, another kind of gumdrop shape. Let's draw him really angry again, too. You could draw him smiley, but sometimes he's just very, very angry little fella. Well, sometimes it's just a terrible day, you know? And it's just awful sometimes. And I'm angry. I can't seem to get those highlights or the irises. I'm just gonna flow with the drawing. He doesn't have eyebrows, too. He can. The Billy Joel dog. We literally just talked about him earlier. Oh. Okay. Sorry. I'm so forgetful. Let's see. And he has this little thing going on with his... But he's still kind of smiling. Yeah, but he doesn't have eyebrows, which I think is interesting. And it can work if you put eyebrows on him, but sometimes I think it's better to just leave him eyebrowless. For some, it just depends. It depends on the style and the situation in which you're doing it. He has a very defined line where his coloring changes. He has a very sloppy posture too. He's got his big zipper here. You know, his little parts of his coat. Here's Conker. He's grumpy. He's really grumpy today. He's not even looking at anybody. He's just looking over to the side. Dodger. Okay, let's grab a good picture of him. If we don't have room on this paper... Oh, that's who he is. Okay, I'm sorry. The names didn't. Ooh, let's get a pic of him with these shades. These are some cool shades. Grabbing a reference pic real quick. Hey, that rhymes. This isn't a bad picture either. I hope that my okay. Let's grab this picture. The sunglasses. He has very distinct sunglasses. I do think that's really cool. Okay, for some reason I don't like it when my software does this, but hang on. I gotta convert the picture because it won't let me load it up. Some web images don't work and I have to just save them as a different format. So, one moment. Now let's get in with his smile. I love how this image looks. It's pretty cool. Awesome. Alright, now the wait is over. Here he is. We're just gonna slide him down to the side here. We're gonna move this to the side and start on a new piece of paper for now. If we have a small character that I'm more comfortable with drawing in a confined little space there, then we'll head that way. I have been playing my... I hope you guys can hear the music. I have no idea. I can't hear the music anymore. Oh, there we go. Oh man, I was just... There we go. I couldn't hear my music, and there was a reason why, because it was my headphones acting up. Alright, well, this is a very odd shape to start with, but I do see... Actually, you know what? I see a circle, and I see his neck come down. And then I see his snout. This is interesting, because this is me drawing it for the very first time. So it's going to be... Oh, it's nice having this music now. I do... My headphones have been causing problems. I use these little... what are they called? The little Apple ones. Let's get his ears down here. So it is, again, it's just like, hey, let's follow the shapes. That dog is looking good, thanks. He's cool, he's like... He's just too cool for school. I remember this movie, Oliver and Company. I hope I got that right. I'd be very embarrassed if I didn't. And it looks like his ear goes that way as well. And let me see his eyebrows. His eyebrows are interesting too. It's an interesting shape for them. Oh, and he's got this little bit of hair right there. Yeah. Let's make sure that's defined enough though. And like that. And then he's got some of his eyelids that kind of show. But then we get to the shades. We get into these shades. Of course, we'll shade in the shades. I haven't seen this movie in a long time. And next I'm going to draw a character from a show that I've been watching recently. Erin and I have been watching together. She knows exactly what I'm talking about already. Look at this big nose. He's got a big nose here. That's fun. You've got your eyebrows. My eyebrows. Do my eyebrows look like that? I guess sometimes they do. Look at that. He's got that little... And there's some kind of fur stuff going on there. And there's some going on here as well. I also hate it when a drawing's like looking really good and then there's one little thing that I do at the end of it that just totally messes it up. Now we got his teeth, so there's two there, there's two there. I'm just gonna sort of... It's tough when it's on a really small scheme like this to get that right, so we'll just do the best that we can there. And then this is also important because this further defines what's going on here with him, with his shaping, his hair. And he's wearing a sausage necklace. Stylish. Bold choice. Oh yeah, and then there's this difference in his color of the color of his fur, which I feel like with him, you do kind of have to show that somehow. There's a lot of... Okay, there's a difference here, too, that I didn't account for either. Just that line. Right there. So we'll try to show that. Enlarged snoot. And then there's three little dots for where his whiskers are. Let's broaden that line a little bit more. There he is. Usually wears a red bandana. Oh, he does? Oh, yeah, I see what you mean. Ooh. There we go. Dodger. Dodger. There he is. No, Daniel, you don't have to go. Unless there's something you have to do. We just want to chill and have fun here, that's all. Okay, it's time. It's time to draw the character that... You all know who this is. You all have seen... You know, I feel like... No, I'm going to draw from the same angle as I did before, as I did the other day, because I need to practice him. You all saw this character. You all know who I'm talking about. Oh, come on. Is it that format again? I was just about to change it up. Any guesses for who it is? And Aaron, you can guess something different, but you know who it is. I think I should do that with these. How many minutes in? 42 minutes. Let's see. I'll wait just a moment. We'll get this out of the way. So let's recap. And while we get guesses for who that character is going to be, I'll just sketch something very quickly. You know who I didn't sketch yet? I want to fill up this space. I'm going to sketch Troy. Troy is another character that... I think Aaron knows exactly who this is. Tall boy, yes, he is very tall. Well, not Troy, the person I'm going to draw. Daniel, if you're still watching, again, we're just here to have a good time. We don't want to, we're not trying to be all like we're not trying to ignore you or anything. We're just trying to chill and just talk about different things. So you don't have to go, but unless there's something you have to do. But it's up to you. Alright. Let's get the ears. And he needs his collar. That's what was the collars of his shirt. Oh, there's a bit of room here too to do a little bit more. He's got the skull on his shirt. He's a tough guy, And then he usually has a little cigar here, 'cause gray complexion. Yes, that's true of Troy as well. Look at Mario. This happens all the time too. My hands get into the pencil and creates problems. Troy. We'll come back to this one again. I know I said an hour, but if I still come up with more characters to draw, I really want to try to limit it down. Maybe an hour and 15. We'll do a little overtime if there's more characters. I do this all the time. Enjoys egg sandwiches. Okay, I don't think I saw that episode yet. Alright, let's get them in. Let's bring in this fella. Yes. I heard about this show everywhere, and I started watching it. Now, again, a lot of these characters start with just simple shapes. He's an interesting one to draw because there's a lot of detail. So I just kind of block out. He's also a 3D model as well. So there's something interesting about him too, is his nose. His nose starts much. Oh, did I say his name? Legoshi. Legoshi. I always say Legoshi. It's Legoshi. One thing that's a little bit tricky about him too, because he's kind of a 3D model. Beastar. Is it Beastars or is it Beastars? I call it Beastars. I know it's spelled that Beastars, but I've really been enjoying the show. Like, I was 2 episodes in. Aaron definitely knows. It's like a mature version of Zootopia. It is, but it is a lot like Zootopia. But there's some things about it that are a bit different. She got me hooked on it. I think it's only 12 episodes. Beastars. Okay. I'm not gonna say it the wrong way. His nose is interesting because it starts way down here. You know, like take a look at Dodger. His nose is up there. Troy's nose is up there. Mousie's nose. Nick's nose is there. His nose is way down here. Why has this character been everywhere? I've seen. It is a really popular show, and yes, I have been obsessed with it. And not for it's popular. Everybody loves it for different reasons, but I think in Aaron I'll realize something, and I've seen it too. Is just a very deep personal connection that I have. I can personally very much relate to this character. And it's something I've never seen before. And I really like how they do it. And I don't know I just really relate to it in my own way. That no one else is doing. And that's why it's special. I don't like it because it's popular. I like it because there's something really deep about it to me. Yeah, and I will say, like Dusk said, it has all of the. If there's a formula for something that I like, it has a lot. It pretty much has every element in there. Here's what's tricky about him: where are his eyes? Now, I can draw a guideline. I guess they're right about in the middle, and it depends on what. It depends on what angle you're looking at them. In this particular angle, I think the bottom of the eyes start in the middle, I would say. Just such a cool character. And there's no merch. Well, there's some, but I'm just waiting for them to release merch. And I'm gonna get my hands on the merch because I know it'll be valuable and I know it'll sell out quick. He's got those above his eyes there, and this is also what's really characteristic about him is his pupils are very small, and he has these little lines there by his eyes. I messed that one up a little bit. This is a great point for people that don't typically watch these streams to come on There will be. Why wait? Oh, are you saying we make some merch? We should. I do think it was a manga series as well. He also has, this is also important, it's just so many little details with him in his face, these lines. He has those little lines. And look at that heart shape. That's very interesting too. And I'm actually, I don't mean this in a mean way, but I'm actually glad you guys didn't see it yet because I was so worried someone was going to give spoilers. But, and I think I drew his eyebrows a little bit too low. But again, it depends on what facial expression he's making and where you're looking at him. So, I think I'll thicken the eyebrow lines just because I need to distinguish them a little bit more. And I think I drew them a little bit too angry looking. He's not angry here. He's just mellow. Give him as much. I was worried about spoilers. It's been out since 2016. Wow. I didn't know. Let me see. Okay. Now his ears. I didn't know it was in 2016 when it came out. One Piece, it's huge in Japan, or at least it was. And I think, didn't it air in Japan in 2019? And you know what I did too? Let's get rid of these. They're a little bit too dramatic. I think they should maybe about there. We'll work out the detail later. Didn't it air in Japan in late 2019, and then it just came out now too in America? Oh, and there's another character we're going to draw. Another character that I really love that you guys will also know. I'm pretty sure we all kind of catch up with the cartoons here. Let's get his collar going on. Yeah, I messed up a bit. And he's got this tie going on. Yeah, but this character, I've never gotten so connected to a character so quickly. And I off-centered his tie. Let's... Alright, we're not going to let that flow. We're going to fix it and do it right. There we go. And he has you can't really see it here, but he has a little button there. You request Yado. Pirate monkey. Crazy powers. A talking reindeer. There's a talking deer in this show as well. Huh. That's interesting. Look at these. The shoulders here, and then it kind of comes in. Oh boy. Again, he's very tall, and he takes up a lot of the page, as you can see. Yeah, he takes up a lot of the page. My goodness. His ears. This one's, oh, they're a little bit, they are pointy, I think. We'll have them, they're sticking up a little bit more in mine, but that's alright. We'll go with it. Wait, what did I got a weird thing going on there with the line. And then, It's also really important to get this symmetrical. And like I did earlier, it's a good way to kind of estimate with him. It's like how just block things out with any character you're drawing if you're having trouble like figuring out the shapes and everything. You can just block it out first, and then if you have to, go back and erase it some. All right, this needs to be a little bit more. This is what I'm still practicing with him specifically. Is this part, the way that his fur comes out. It's very specific, and again, because it uses 3D, it's very consistent throughout. So that's a bit better. It's not perfect still, but it'll work. Let's make sure his ears are good. Oh, by the way, you probably noticed my Christmas pencil. I don't know why I'm using a Christmas pencil, but hey, I'll use a Christmas pencil. There he is, Legoshi. Glad at least someone knows something about my shows. Let's see. Okay, so that's... Now there's two different ways to spell it as well. I'm going to go with the... I still don't know which way to spell it for myself. Oh. It's not good. Let's fix that very quickly. There we go. And I didn't add my name at the bottom yet. And the date. Makes Rudolph less of an outcast. Rudolph. Rudolph was pretty outcast. Legoshi. Dodger. Alright. Now let's get to this one. I did draw this character once before as well. Another show that I haven't watched enough of yet. And I know they ended the show. I think we'll do... Alright, since it's almost an hour, we'll do this character and then Aranel. I will grab... let's grab... We'll grab the character that Yado. I'm terrible at pronouncing these things. Let's find a good picture. This is a pretty good one, I would say. I hope this is it's the wrong format again. Why can't these be JPEGs? Oh, that's right. It should technically be with an R. You're right. But yeah, it's just the Americanized thing going on. Alright, now I hope is this the right character? Now let's get this wonderful character out of the way. Is this it? Am I thinking correctly? Look at him, he takes up like the whole middle of the page. Is this the right character? We do that, we'll recap. Wow, look at all these. You know what? I think I'm gonna post this up on my artboard when I'm done. So it'll be on display back there. I think I will. And yeah, we'll do more drawings again too, I think. But we'll see. I think this is the right character. And another precious bean. And let's see. Is there anyone else I could just fill in this little space with? Let me draw a little Luma up here, you know? Another kind of an interesting shape that we'll start with. Flying through the air. Da, 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 da. Luma. Look at Legoshi just kind of peeking behind the paper. You ever see too the things that they use at Disney with or like at any cartoon studio where they have the pins? It's like whole punch paper, and then they can just flip it up and do animation. And while we wait for... This delay might be kind of bad. While we wait for Arenal's response, or confirm or denial if this is the right character, we'll draw that character and one more. Let's see if there's any old drawings I can grab. Here's one. I was probably 8 years old, 7 or 8. And if you know who the dog is, then I don't know if it's clear or not. If you do know who the dog is, then that's pretty cool, because his cartoon isn't obscure, but it's not talked about certainly as much. You definitely have to know your cartoons. That's... Oh, okay. That's him. Alright. Let's draw Yato. And then we're going to get to one more character. And give some guesses for who that's going to be. I'm not very good at drawing these kinds of characters. But... these anime characters like this, but we'll see. Cool. I think she's talking about the dog. See if anybody guesses that dog. This is I think I'm just going to start with the eyes. The windows to the soul. My mom used to have to draw a lot for me in the beginning. She had to draw like the same stuff over and over again. But then I just started doing it myself then. This is going to look bizarre because it's not going to have the hair. That looks bizarre. Let's fix this. Maybe make it look a little less bizarre. Like that. Let's figure out where this hair kind of goes. Okay, and then let's get the character's neck. We'll go in and... Oh, I don't want to mess up my not Legoshi, Legoshi. Legoshi drawing. Cooler, that's right. It's Cooler the dog. I feel like maybe I went too low with the nose, I'm not sure. Let's get this bandana. This bandana is an interesting shape. And then there's some things going on there with it too. Like there's a little cut in there, and then there's a little cut in there. And then there's a little cut in there. I'm sure there's a reason why too. Just about like that, I'd say. And then a knot, and then that, and that. Then you gotta get the these wrinkle lines in there too, because they really help with just selling that look. And then again, we're doing a little bit from the top for like just about the chest up. So we'll get some of this. There is a stripe that goes down there. Whoa, I'm gonna lose my papers. So we'll also draw that. You got his hair right, but he's got a bad case of the Arthur nose. Oh no! Let's fix his nose. I think it needs to be a little bit lower. Is that better? I think I drew his... I think I know what the problem is. He looked kind of like... Oh, thanks, Tusk. Especially, this is the first time I've ever seen this character before. So, how was that? He's gonna dance to the music. So hopefully... Oh, good! I'm getting the okay from Aranel. Alright, let's grab the last character of the night. And, again, I'm worried about spoilers. Alright, we'll grab this pic here. But we're gonna have him looking at us. Who is it? I'm not gonna move it yet. Who is that? Who is this? And we're going to draw him. We'll draw him down here. I think there's enough room for him there. And while I wait, let's draw just a Mario mushroom, because I'm bothered by the lack of stuff over here. Oh, Daniel, you got it. You got it, Daniel. Bojack. See how it's amazing how your eyes can tell what it is pretty early on. Does they? Yeah, that's what it is. Mushroom. There he is. Horseman, yes, Bojack. You're right. Bojack Horseman. I've only seen the first 2 seasons so far. Another show I really like, which is also on Netflix as well. Another complex shape for us. He's looking very worn out in this picture. And Aranel Funko Pop as well, because she's a sweetheart. And okay, he's got the shape for where his eye is gonna go. I seem to just have no method really with like what I start with. I think it's kind of character sensitive. Like it just depends on it's kind of leaning, but that was because of the way I was holding the paper. That's alright though. I have a Mr. Peanut Butter one as well. He's another good character to draw. Maybe we'll draw him, might draw him next time. Let's just get his coat here. We'll just start on his coat, but we'll finish it. It looks very weird without anything. Imagine seeing BoJack Horseman in real life. Mushroom Hill. I'm gonna keep it. Yeah, he would be weird in real life. But apparently it's not weird in their world. And this show is ended now, I think. In my opinion, so far I haven't seen the whole show. But one of my, well, I think it might be my favorite piece of adult Western animation, because I think it just uses the medium and the audience, the target audience, correctly. I love their eyes too. Their eyes are just very very small. But they communicate a lot. That's kind of the BoJack style. I know that it's all very subjective, though, for what everybody's favorite cartoon and favorite example of it is. Somebody made an art doll of Baby BoJack with piercing eyes and human feet. It's horrifying. Yes, I remember you showed me that picture. It was very scary. It's uncanny. And I don't know why. They were trying to make something very artistically interesting, but it ended up being very nightmarish. I haven't been able to get into much adult animation. There are exceptions, but not much. I don't know why though. Me neither. I think the problem is, and I have a lot of opinions about adult animation specifically, because I think it's really behind on a lot. So there's animation now. We say children's animation, but I feel like it's animation for anybody. But animation that's typically for children is usually it's much more compelling than animation that's for adults, and the adults just tend to go for well, we're R-rated now, so we'll just act R-rated, and they don't tell enough of they don't take the audience very seriously, and in my opinion, I think that's a really big waste of potential for what you really can do, and you can really tell a compelling story with that medium and with that audience that you couldn't tell otherwise. So, and a lot of them just feel kind of the same, like, oh yeah, it's gonna have all these elements in it. Except Avatar. Oh, what? Wait. I'm trying to think of what you meant by that. Because I guess, well, yeah, I think Avatar kind of subtly tells a very serious story for children. And that's what I meant. I didn't mean that. I feel like a lot of children's films have more serious stories than adult films. or than adult animation, I should say. With film in general, it's different, but with animation, it's very specific. Yeah, exactly, Dusk. That's exactly my thoughts on it. It just focuses on the crude humor. And I think it just wastes so much potential. And even the first episode of BoJack kind of even tries to get... It starts off just like the other ones. But then it starts to get more like, oh wow, these are actually deep characters that are flawed, and they're making decisions, and those decisions have consequences on them later, and it's like, wow, that's the kind of stuff we want to see. With my BoJack's is kind of like leaning much more, and I also forget that it's the J is capitalized too. My eye doesn't read that all the time. Yeah, and I've always been very, again, the humor is very subjective. Oh, wait, his sweater. I've always been very sensitive to a lot of the crude humor. I guess it depends on what it is. So I always just think, gee, this is like, they could do so much more here. And it's, again, people find different things funny and different things entertaining. And I also agree that shows like that, they're just on for too long. And there has to be a point where you have to move on to something else creatively. You do have to pull the plug on a project when it's like, we did everything, and we explored these characters very well. And those shows, I think, have way gone over the point where they should end. So it's like, hey, we were fantastic. We could end here, and we did everything creatively we could do. I mean, when you've been on for like, how many seasons has The Simpsons been on now? When you've been on for like 30-some seasons, you just run out of ideas. You just do, and you know. The character, you're going to have to start introducing characters and stuff, and then at that point it's like, you kind of need a new show. And it's not like that we don't like the show, it's just every show has that time where you run out of ideas. And SpongeBob has stayed relevant, that's kind of an exception. And SpongeBob's been on for a long time, too. And I agree as well, Aaron, on what you said there about, yeah, the shows started out really strong, but they just kind of declined. And then I do think, too, with SpongeBob, Nickelodeon focuses way too much on SpongeBob. Because, speaking of SpongeBob, let's just draw him really quick. We have a little bit of room up here, and then I will finish with... Now you guys, that was your trick to get me talking about this. Yeah, it is just interesting. I haven't drawn SpongeBob in a while. And that is hard. It's hard to let. It's, you know, on one hand, I'm always very thankful, like, those voice actors and stuff, they get to work the same gig and the same characters, and really, you can just tell that they love their job. And it's hard, because it is like, yeah, the show probably should end, but these people really, they're very passionate about the characters they play. But really, characters that are really strong, they'll live on in other ways, and people will never forget them. I'll give him his arms there. I forgot about adding in his arms. I'm not even looking at a reference for SpongeBob here. I was wondering if I should. As long as they keep making money and getting views, they'll keep making episodes. And I did hear SpongeBob was getting some good episodes. And I was saying about Nickelodeon focuses too much on SpongeBob. They do need to give newer shows a chance. They do. I think that's another thing that they need to try. This video is going to get taken down by Viacom. You remember, I think his teeth closer together in the newer episodes now? And we certainly miss the great, I don't know his spot patterns either, so I'm just gonna throw in what feels right. But I know that's something that I think the animators really keep track of. Rest in peace, the great Steven Hillenburg, who really did shape my childhood and many of our childhoods as well, with SpongeBob. Just a very, very interesting combo of marine biology and cartoons. Just something you wouldn't really think would go together. But it takes someone that's... let me fix this line. Someone like Steven that really has that knowledge of the ocean, that love for the ocean, and reflects that through a cartoon. But also, not only is he really knowledgeable about marine biology, but he's also a really great cartoonist as well. I do hope Nickelodeon does keep premiering. Eraser mark. Keep premiering more cartoons, and just give shows give them a chance. I can't fit this here. That's alright. Oh yeah, I watched SpongeBob all the time growing up. That's hard to believe it almost didn't happen. It's such a lightning in a bottle moment too. It's so interesting the first episode to see the Krusty Krab and all this stuff for the very first time. And at the time that wasn't iconic yet, but now we just know it so well. And it's it is odd. It's an odd and an interesting concept, but we're just so used to it. We didn't even think twice. Oh yeah, Krabby Patty and pineapple, who lives in a pineapple under the sea. Oh yeah, of course, it's SpongeBob. That's such a silly idea. It's so interesting to see when it came out for the first time. Alright, let's zoom out and wow, we got a lot of drawing in. Let's zoom this camera out. There's my pencil. Let's see what we got. I'm very pleased with what we've drawn. So, first we did this. We had our wonderful guests. We had Dusk, we had Arno, we had Daniel. Thank you all for being a part of this. We have our little chubby smiley face man. He's going to be standing here. It does feel so different looking back on this. It's how they've progressed. We started with Mario here. We've got Mr. Grimsey, we've got Nick Wilde, we've got two Mousies, we've got Troy, we've got Conker, we've got Illuma. We've got Dodger, we've got a Mushroom, we've got Legoshi. I just am obsessed with that show. We got SpongeBob, Yato, I'm sorry, I don't know if I gotta pronounce it right, and BoJack Horseman. And these are going up on my art wall. So, thank you for just being here. This was really fun. And we had a lot of great characters. There's still many more to draw. And many to draw again, doing different facial expressions. The possibilities are endless with that. So, thank you again. And I'm just really happy with what we did and with the timing that we kept. So I hope you all have a good evening, a good rest of your weekend, and a good week coming up, and that you all just be safe and healthy, and that that just be a great week for you. So with that said, thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.